Hi, and welcome back to Spirituality with Stephanie. Today we're going to be talking about the Divine Soul Blueprint, what it is, and what types of information you can get from a Divine Soul Blueprint. So first off, my name is Stephanie. I am a Divine Soul Blueprint Realignment Practitioner. I've gotten certified in this work, and this is actually because I had my own Divine Soul Blueprint reading and clearing done, and it was so life-changing that I had to get certified, figure out how it worked, and figure out how I could help other people with this. As a little bit of a background, before I did this modality, I actually went to law school for a year on a scholarship and got a bachelor's degree in psychology before that. So hopefully that tells you a little something about how logic-based I definitely am and how life-changing this work must have been for me to step into this line. And I hope to educate and share this information with people because I didn't know about this modality until I met somebody that actually practiced it. So first of all, we're going to start with, why does energy work even work, right? So basically everything in our reality is energy. Everything is made of energy, and energy is at the root of everything, even the physical things. So addressing the energetic blocks gets to the root cause of the problem, basically like pulling a weed out at the root that can't come back. There is a school of thought as well called cosmopsychism that some professionals do subscribe to, and it's basically that everything is made out of consciousness itself. So by addressing problems at the energetic root, you are fixing the physical symptoms as well as the cause of it. So now, what are Divine Soul Blueprints? First off, everybody has one. It's basically like the coding behind a website, but for your soul. It basically tells us who you are at soul level. It tells us soul level traits. It tells us how you're best designed to receive and use energy. And it tells us different blocks and karma from this life and past lives that you're experiencing and blocking you. I'll get into the types of readings that I do in a bit, but this is a little bit different for each reading in terms of what types of information and clearing is done. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But this is the gist of blueprints, and it basically gets to the core identity of who you are. Now, I mentioned blocks and karma. So I want to be intentional with the words that I use, and in terms of soul blueprint context, karma is defined as the consequence of our choices. So I love this modality because it is super empowering to the individual, because we have the power to change our actions once we learn about a block and how it was created, right? There's no externalization of, oh, this person healed me and cleared me. Like, yes, the work does that, but it's your responsibility at the end to continue with this new action in order to not receive that block again. And we'll get into that in a bit. These blocks that I'm talking about are created by acting out of alignment with our true selves. And it can be even small actions. It doesn't have to be grand gestures. It can be small acts of people pleasing in a routine manner that causes like a pattern for you, and that will cause a block. Blocks prevent energy from flowing abundantly throughout our system, in turn lessening our abundance. In 4 of my readings, which again I'll explain in a little bit, I do read and clear the blocks in the blueprint. So this is a kind of analogy for this. If I were to be hired by you to come into your home and clean everything, I would come and make it spotless, and I would tell you exactly what areas were super dirty and how to keep them clean for next time. And the house will stay clean for a little while unless you just don't keep up with cleaning, and then it'll continue to get dirty again, because that's just how it works. And our blocks are kind of the same way. So with the clearing, I basically clear all the blocks that come up for you, and we discuss what they are so you know how to act differently moving forward. But now it's your responsibility after I do the clearing to continue that work in order to see the results. It basically kindly calls you out on people-pleasing behaviors or anything that's literally self-sabotaging or not in your highest good, because it is quite literally creating a block for you. And I don't know about you guys, it can definitely be uncomfortable to hear some of those things and feel like you need to change who you are or what you're doing, but it actually is really helpful to get an outside perspective that resonates so deeply. Like when I had my soul blueprint done, I was absolutely shook with the information that was coming out at me. I had no idea it would be so intimate and so deep. Like I actually did end up crying in kind of just like a resonance type of way. I wasn't sad or anything like that, but it felt so deep that I was like, wow, this is literally me. So how does this all work, right? The Divine Soul Blueprints, I essentially do via the Akashic Records. And the Akashic Records is essentially an etheric database, kind of like a quantum level cloud of everything that has been, is, and ever will be. In my certification, I was attuned to access the Akashic Records, which is how I do this work. And you can kind of think of the clearing process as me coding a website, except the website would be your soul blueprint. I basically enter a code in order to reset your divine soul blueprint. Remember, though, that we create the blocks through our own actions or lack thereof. So even after the clearing, if you continue in your old ways, the blocks can still return, much like the cleaner analogy that I used. In order to help with this, after the sessions that I do the clearings, clients will get an affirmation sheet to read out loud intentionally once a day for 21 days. This is to make the unconscious conscious and thus within our realm of change, because you can't change something that you're not aware of. So now let's get into the readings that I offer and the types of information that come with each reading. So the very first reading that I have is called Soul Blueprint Reading and Clearing 1. It's made up of a couple different parts, and the first part is your soul profile. The soul profile includes information like your soul group of origination and characteristics of that soul group down to the soul core level, your primary energy center and how you best receive and utilize energy, what is kind of like your path in life. It also includes your soul vibration rate, and that tells us how aligned you are to yourself and where your higher self is sitting vibrationally. We also have the number of spirit guides that you have. We have your primary life lesson, which is essentially the theme that you experience life through, and soul specialization, and much more. And the soul profile is also its own reading if you're not interested in the clearing part. So that's an option too. In the Soul Blueprint Reading and Clearing 1, the full one, after the soul profile, we have negative karmic patterns. So it basically tells us your blocks, and it gives us some insight into your past lives and how these blocks occurred if they were from past lives. And then I clear them. So after I clear them, you get the affirmation sheet, and then you continue that for 21 days, and the work continues. Okay, so now for the second reading that I have, it's called Soul Blueprint Reading and Clearing 2, Present Life Issue Clearer. So this is something that addresses root causes energetically of problems that are impeding your success in this life. And this is also a really good option. So basically what happens is the client will book with me, and a client will send me a list of every problem that they're experiencing. This could range from things like there are ants in my house, to I can't sleep, to I'm having trouble earning more money, to I'm having problems with my significant other, etc. And the client will also send me their goals for what they're working on for the next 6 to 12 months, what their intention is. And then I read the blueprint and I identify the blocks stemming from your issues that are preventing you from achieving your goal, and I clear them. And of course, I also tell you about the blocks so that you can change to act in alignment with yourself. And the client does get affirmations after this reading as well. The next reading that I have is called the property clearing. And houses have divine soul blueprints too. Basically, this reading will identify blocks affecting you and your home, because some of these blocks can actually impede your sense of comfort in a place. It can impede your ability to sleep. Some are really off-putting to home buyers, and that was something that I found so true with an Australian client of mine. She booked with me for a house that she was selling, and she also gave me permission to share this story, by the way, but she booked with me for a house that she was selling that they weren't able to get any offers on, and it was getting really frustrating. So I did the Divine Soul Blueprint clearing, and they did indeed have this block that it was off-putting to home buyers. And literally the very next day, they had a showing and got an offer and sold the house. So this is what I mean when I say the energetic root of these problems is the way to go to tackle it, because then it removes the physical problem as well. And after the property clearing, I do clear all the blocks and I realign it, but there are no affirmations for this reading. Another reading that I offer is relationship reading and clearing. So this is between two people that have known each other for at least a year, and it can be any type of dynamic. It can be partner, it can be friends, it can be siblings, it can be parents, literally anybody that you've known for over a year. And the information that you get in this reading is both people's soul profiles, which we went over in the beginning, if you remember. So it basically gets into your soul group of origination, your primary energy center, your primary life lesson, and things like that. And it also informs us about dynamics that you shared in past lives together and how many past lives together you have had. It also tells us lessons that you guys are learning through each other. And it'll also identify any blocks in your connection, which of course I go over with you, I clear, and then there are affirmation sheets for both of you. Then I also have a spirit guide reading, which is really cool. So all of us have our own unique set of spirit guides. And just like we have chosen to be human for this incarnation, our spirit guides have chosen to be spirit guides for this incarnation and are assigned specifically to us. We each have between 3 and 6 spirit guides. And the more action and change that you're creating in your life, the more spirit guides you will have. That's just simply their purpose. This reading will also tell us what each guide helps you with, like what their purpose is on your team. It'll also give us messages from your guides, if there are any, as well as any type of information regarding what your spirit guide looks like, what their names are, things like that, if applicable. Because some spirit guides are more abstract, if you think about it. They are literally souls without a human vessel. So they really are just kind of like everything, and they may not identify with a specific look or a specific name or something like that, but some of them do, and they use them to communicate with us better because they know that that's how we operate. And lastly, I offer a chakra analysis, which addresses your main chakras at the physical, emotional, and mental bodies, and it basically identifies any misalignment in your chakras, and I provide you information on how to correct these imbalances, because this is not a clearing one as well. And there you have it. That was a little rundown of Divine Soul Blueprints and some of the information that can be accessed through these blueprint readings. If anybody's interested, I am taking new clients, and I'll put my website down in the caption of this, but it's stephanieforlini.com. And I offer these readings virtually or PDF format through Etsy. And I have the links to both of those options on my website. I hope this cleared things up about soul blueprints and maybe informed you if you weren't already in the know about them. Like I mentioned again, this was extremely life-changing for me, and I definitely would not be where I am right now without it, which of course is the reason for my passion behind this. I hope this was informative. Thank you guys so much for listening and checking it out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.